Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back for another BoshNRoll Vintage Cube. This is episode 4 of the Femi Trophy series. Subscriber Femi has challenged me to trophy in Vintage Cube, and I'm going to play them until I do that. I'm getting better. Decks are getting better. Understanding this build of the cube better. It's 108 cards different from the previous one, so some big changes. Here I see Archon of Cruelty, which I haven't gone into just busted combo stuff in any of this run yet. I've been trying to, play kind of fair, do cool, coherent, normal Magic stuff. There's a Necromancy in this pack that could wheel if I cut the payoff monster, and Archon pays off for multiple things in the cube. Sensei's top powerful card's a very powerful card, but I kind of want to be in a different spot this time. Animate Dead, Strip Mine, Library of Alexandria, also Death, which is, I believe, worse than Animate Dead. Fractured Identity, jeez. Just saying, if I would have been doing this on my own, I probably would have taken Teferi, and then I would have had a Fractured Identity to go with it. I think I'm going to slam this Library of Alexandria, though. There's 2 Reanimate spells in this pack. I think I'm likely to wheel one of them, and I'm going to take the power card. Strip Mine, also powerful, but Library of Alexandria can even be a discard outlet for a Reanimate deck. You just draw up to 8 and end your turn. Alright, I'm going there. One of the biggest tilts of this run so far has been that I haven't looked at a single piece of power in any of my packs, and my losses have been largely to people who, Mox into Ancestral Recall. So having something like Library, it's not a piece of power, but it is cool. Inquisition of Kozilek. I know there's 3 reanimation spells kicking around this pack already. I am kind of interested in staking a claim on that space. Dam's cool, Fairy Mastermind's cool, but Inquisition of Kozilek, punching a hole doing reanimate stuff. There's Shallow Grave. That's the worst of the reanimation spells, but it is a reanimation spell. Godless Shrine can enable different colors. Scrapwork Mutt is a discard outlet. Talisman of Indulgence is an on-color ramp spell. Good chance I wheel the Mutt, actually. I'm going to take the Artifact Mana, which is a defining feature of Vintage Cube. Woodfall Primus is a banger. I can reanimate. Scrubland gives me options. Cabal Ritual. Maybe I just stake the full combo flame on this draft. Take Black Rituals, Yogwill, Tendrils, Brain Freeze, Mind's Desire, all in the cube, and I've seen them wheel and wheel, because you kind of got to claim them early. I'm going to take Cabal Ritual. Get a little rowdy here. Bazaar of Baghdad. That's really good if I'm dedicated Reanimator, and pretty bad if I'm not. Triplicate Titan and Massacre Worm, both cool things. I'm only going to see 2 of these cards in the pack again, and Bazaar of Baghdad is kind of a tricky one to wheel that late. People might just take it on spec. Alright, I'm going to take the Titan, though. Bunch of reanimation spells. There's Animate Dead, Necromancy, Life Death, and Shallow Grave all in this pack right now. If somebody across the table from me just moved in on it, I'm about to get BTFO'd. But if they didn't, I'm going to run hot in the back half of this pack, and then we'll just have a deck we have to fill out for 2 whole packs. Sphinx of the CON, Soul Transfer. I believe this is a reanimate spell. Oh, no, it's not. It's a Raise Dead, not a reanimate. Exile target creature or Planeswalker, or return target creature or Planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. This is still a removal spell. Talisman of Conviction, off color currently. Regrowth is just a powerful card in general. I love a Fire Covenant. I don't think I need Sphinx on top of these 2 things. One of these things is already even a Tinker target, in case I find Tinker and want to move into that. I'll just take the removal spell. Sevi Triome. Basically the only card I'd want here. Blood Tithe Harvester. Blood tokens are a discard outlet. That would kind of push me into red when I don't have red mana, or I could take red mana now. Those are really the two decisions for me here, I think. I think I'd rather take color fixing than additional color. And time for the moment of truth. Oh no, Necromancy's not in the pack. We may have gotten snagged here. The next pack is the one that had 2 reanimate spells in it. We'll see if that pans out. I have a red and white and black land now. Any of these white cards look good to me. Savine's Wreck is cool. If I do have to pivot and get off reanimate, green-black, big stuff. Green-black, like, Moldiah ramp. Alright, someone took my animate dead, someone else is in reanimate. But I do have a death here. And Graven Cairns, another red splash land. Inferno Titan, oh, Shallow Grave. We caught that one. I think I gotta take it. Someone is in my Necromancy reanimate space, so I'll take the ones I can get. Vampire Hexmage, on color, thing with some text versus Steamkin. Yeah, I'm not a Steamkin deck. And, oh, Bazaar and Masker Worm came back around. I'll take the Bazaar. And Lauren. Okay, Lauren's on spec, Cabal Ritual's on spec, Oracle of Moldiah is on spec. Hexmage can just straight up kill Planeswalkers, like that's a cool thing to do with that. Also, if I get a Dark Depths, Green-Black Depths starts to become an engine I can pursue. And I do have 3 red sources. Hey, Mox Jet. A piece of power. It's even on color. We did it, team. 4 drafts and we found a piece of power. Let's go. And I'm taking it. I'm just looking at the rest of the pack. There's a Polluted Delta. Duress, I think, is the card I would take if Mox Jet wasn't here. Okay, Mox Jet, get in. Cool. Demonic Tutor. Corpse Dance. Return the top creature card to your graveyard of the battlefield. That creature gains haste, exile it with buyback. Okay, so this is Shallow Grave with buyback. Demonic Tutor's got to be better than this card. Oh, Athari is one of the best reanimation targets, one of the best general magic cards. I mean, I'm going to take Demonic Tutor, but I'd be pretty happy getting Athari, Gix, Corpse Dance, or Night's Whisper back out of this pack. Pretty deep one. Exhume, okay, let's go. I gotta take these while I can. I can't count on them to wheel after what happened pack 1. Titan of Industry. And Vindicate. It's cool, I can almost cast that. I have Sevi Triome. I have 1 white source. Badlands, Tendrils of Agony, Thespian Stage. I think it's Badlands. Tendrils tends to just wheel and not get picked if nobody's in Storm. And if Storm is open, I'll get this back. And if it's not open, I don't want to compete with anyone for it. So I'm sending that, probably just taking Badlands. This is my 4th red source. Red Splash getting kind of free. Sylvan Library goes with the Oracle of Moldiah if I want to be green-black, but I don't have a single green-black duel. Yeah, I'm kind of in the market for mono-black here, or at least light red splash that I don't have to dedicate too many lands to. Damnation, Misery, Shadow, Braid's Arisen Nightmare. She makes these sack stuff, right? You may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a type. If they don't, they lose to and you draw a card. Yeah, that's too modal for me. So here's the depths. Misery Shadow is like a thing, but Dark Depths, Thespian Stage is in the pack. I wonder if anyone will take that. I have the Hexmage. I'm going to take the depths on spec too. This is just a very cool thing that I've never done in Cube before. Bone Shards, discard outlet and removal. Xander's Lounge, another Rakdos dual land. But I think I'm set on those and I don't even have a red card yet. Though Duretti, discard 2 cards then draw that many cards. This is a better discard outlet and better card than Bone Shards is. Yeah, I'm taking Duretti. I even have Triplicate Titan to do the -2. Concealing Curtains. 0/4, when it transforms, target opponent reveals their hand, choose a non-land card from it, and they discard that card and then draws a card. Oh, they replace the card. And new cards are so weak. Why don't I just get it? Basically, it's this weird duress effect or this tap on color talisman. I'm going to go with talisman. Recurring Nightmare. Let's cook. That is an engine and a reanimation spell and duress on the wheel. Okay. I think whoever was in my deck might have backed out of it, or I just took all the good cards the first time around. I want Gix over Night's Whisper. Now that I have Recurring Nightmare, I have incentive to have creatures in my deck that don't cost 9. Urtai Resurrected, Vindicate. I did just take a second white source. I'm not playing Urtai at all, so I'll take the Vindicate. And the Thespian Stage should be around here if it's coming back. Ding, 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 ding. Thespian Stage and Tendrils on the wheel. I now have 2 payoffs for Dark Depths. I like it. I'm not playing any of these cards, but Flash with Archon and Triplicate's not nothing, and I guess I should play Braids because Recurring Nightmare wants cheap creatures. Bone Shards on the wheel. Okay, I thought about that one the first time through. I think black opened up. A black fetch land would be a great thing to find this pack. Hymn to Turok is a very good card. Bolas' Citadel, I could reasonably cast that in this deck. Palantir of Orthonk is a graveyard enabler. Arab God is a reanimation spell. Wishclaw is just a busted combo enabler in general. I think I want the Hymn, though. How often are you mono black? Or at least close enough to it that this is a great thing to do. I'm in for Hymn to Turok. I would be happy to get back Wishclaw, Palantir, Scarab God, or Bolas' Citadel. Even Sneak Attack's actually great. Ooh, Sneak Attack might even be better than him. I'm going to trust that one of these 5 cards comes back. I'm happy with any of them. Mind Twist. Tenacious Underd. This is a really good one with Recurring Nightmare, but I'm not taking it over Mind Twist. And Prismatic Vista doesn't count as the black fetch land I was looking for. Mind Twist. Now Cabal Ritual has some actual value because Mind Twist rules. Still much worse than Dark Ritual. But if rituals end up happening, those are options I have. I'm going to officially sideboard Lauren and Oracle of Moldiah. I'm not currently playing this Vindicate either. We'll see what this pack gives. If I find my fetch land, I'll think about it, but currently not interested. Oh, there's the Dark Ritual. And the rest of this pack offers very little for me. Urza's Saga, Tutor's Moxjet, that's not a thing. Yeah, really, I mean, Pentet Prism, I guess, could happen, but Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Reanimation deck. Sundering Titan is a reanimation target. Ophiomancer is a great source of shitters for Recurring Nightmare. I'm going to take the Ophiomancer. Shoulder the Apocalypse. Love that mid-range. Happy to ritual this out early. Kinda jerk here. Goblin Welder. I already have Duretti and only Triplicate Titan to pay it off. It's Shouldered. Nothing great for me here. Jadar, technically is a Recurring Nightmare enabler, but I'm not excited about it. Ramanep Excavator, and I do have kind of a lands package going on, and I'm unlikely to play this, but I guess Chandra Torch Defiance could be... Oh, Golos is right here. What am I even doing? I have Stage Depths. Golos is coming in. Yeah, I almost missed it. My brain didn't even register it. Luna's Prowler, Discard Enabler, Kroxa, actual grind thing that my deck can do. I don't think we're good at Yogg Willing. I have Bazaar of Baghdad, Bone Shards, Duretti, and red is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 red sources. Yeah, I guess I want the Prowler. I would have been happy to end up with Kroxa in my deck, though. Ogmoth, not really the mono black I'm looking for. Though I do now have Ophiomancer, who can go off with Yogg. Noxious Gearhulk, probably more my speed, though. Not quite enough artifacts to leverage Mox Opal in a way that I like. But Noxious G also works with Ready, and I got back 2 of the 3 things I would have been happy with. I think it's Sneak Attack. Pay off all these red duels that I took early. Yeah, I'm in for Sneak. Wishclaw can get the Merit Lage, but if my opponent has any answer to Merit Lage, they can just wish for it. But not a great answer to that. Tenacious under D came back around. Does graveyard stuff. And I'm not going to use these other cards. Perfect. Here's this awful pack again. Maybe I'll just remove a Lion Sash from existence. You don't play against your same pod for the most part on MTGO. I just don't want to deal with that. Some dinosaur thing, Armageddon. I'll put Armageddon in my sideboard. I do have some white mana, I guess, just in case. Fiend Artisan, that is technically a mono black card if I choose it to be. That's pretty cool. Artisan can tutor Hex Mage, and then I can set up Depths. I have the Mnemonic Tutor. Okay, I feel like I have drafted a Vintage Cube deck for the first time in this run. Like, genuinely capable of bonkers BS. Mox Jet, Demonic Tutor, Mind Twist, 2 Rituals. I feel this. Gotta make a bunch of cuts, though. I don't think Cabal Ritual is where I want to be. I still think Dark Ritual is where I want to be, though. Sorted it out here a little bit. We've got Hand Disruption, 4 of those. Mind Twist, Hymn to Turok, Inquisition, and Duress. All good stuff. Soul Transfer, Bone Shards are removal. Sneak Attack, and then 4 reanimation spells, plus the ready that can get back Gearhulk, Triplicate Titan, or Golos. And I think I need both of the talismans in the deck to enable Duretti reliably. It's currently 29 cards in this deck. I don't think I can count Dark Depths as a land, because it does not make mana, and I don't have an Urborg. Forgot I took this library hundreds of years ago. That card does not really go well with Mox Jet and Dark Ritual, unless it's in the opening hand. Okay, library's in the maybe pile. I ended up just a lot more aggressive, kind of. I mean, like, any hand that turn 1 Dark Rituals and does something is probably never getting into the library. If I keep a library hand, I can slow down and just grind over time. Library might end up in the sideboard, but that's cutting a land anyway, which doesn't really help my situation. Bazaar Baghdad also barely a land. Okay, lots of techie lands here. Mox Jet is a land. Count it. Braids, I don't think I want. I have the Ophiomancer that can handle that kind of thing. Basically, I have 29 spells in the deck right now. Gix might not be where I end up being. Like, I did end up assembling multiple combos and pretty good reliability to make them happen. Not excited about Gix. Soul Transfer is just a 3-mana removal spell. I control I have very few enchantments in the deck. Do I need Una's Prowler with Bazaar Baghdad, Duretti? Do I need Bazaar with Una's Prowler? Do I need Una's Prowler with Bazaar? That's an interesting calculation. Because if Bazaar isn't winning you the game, it becomes very bad very quickly. Kind of fun with Shouldered, you can just gain a bunch of life. But that's not a whole plan by itself. Yeah, maybe I like Prowler better than Bazaar. At least that does something else too. Like, I do have this Una's Prowler, Tenacious Underdog, Ophiomancer, kind of low curve creature business happening. Though Golos can tutor Bazaar, but if Golos is tutoring Bazaar, has the reanimation ship sailed? Probably. If I just add 8 swamps right now, this is a 40 card deck with functionally 15 actual lands, including Mox Jet, and then 2 talismans and Dark Ritual. I would like, I think, 1 more land in here. I'm gonna move these spells up so we can see them. Oh, right, this is still counting Bazaar as a land too, or Dark Depths as a land, which I'm not. So this is actually, I need 2 cuts. With Life Death, Recurring Nightmare, and Exhume, I have a bunch of controlled reanimation objects. I might not need Shallow Grave as a random reanimation object. Because what Una's Prowler and Tenacious Underdog do for the fair plan, they kind of mess up the unfair plan if it hinges on Shallow Grave. And I have Sneak Attack, which is just Shallow Grave forever. Whoa, Moto put a forest in here. Don't do that. I'm not casting Life, I promise. Okay, back to a 15 land deck with 2 talismans. One more cut. One more basic swamp in here, and then I'm ready to go. It might be Fiend Artisan. As much as I like having a route to Hex Mage, I do have Demonic Tutor. And I don't have a ton of creatures to sacrifice to this thing. And now I'm a proper 16 mana source deck with 2 talismans, a low curve, dark rituals in this deck. Yeah, I think I like where I am here. Kind of sucks to lose the library, but we ended up in a pretty powerful thing going on here. And we have some sideboard options if we need them, and I'm going to rock it like this. Let's do it. Mono Black Reanimator depths. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw with a turn 3 Triplicate Titan. I'm going to run with it. Might be too slow, this is Vintage Cube, but that is a very powerful thing. Ophiomancer. Backup plan. A blue deck. This is unfair. Slanderous. I have to go with the Prowler, because that's the thing that enables, even if they have the counterspell here, which they would not spend on Tenacious Under D. Got dazed. I don't know, maybe I am supposed to play Tenacious D into Ophiomancer and then like set up this like turn 5 surprise Triplicate Titan. Coalition Relic. They're in the deck I usually draft. We'll see if I can defeat the mirror. Oh, sick, Duretti. Alright, found my red mana that dumps Triplicate Titan. Duretti, even if I don't draw an artifact, sets up Recurring Nightmare, which I now have multiple creatures to cash out on. Charting a course, just down and dirty, no combat. Discarded Otawara. Interesting. They know I'm a reanimation deck because I put Una's Prowler in, and they discarded Otawara, a card that can answer a reanimated thing. I'm kind of inclined to play Tenacious D and Exhume here, rather than shove Duretti into all this open mana. Okay, Tenacious D. And Exhume gets back Una's Prowler, which is not nothing. Yeah, that open mana was just like very obvious, and now I can save my Exhume and fire Tenacious D back in. It's not the best card in the world, it's just a tribute. Something's coming. I have a bunch of pressure on the board. Elspeth conquers death, exiles Ophiomancer, but does tap them out. Craven Inspector. Not an effective blocker here. Oh, wow, Sneak Attack. Is that better than Duretti? It's honestly very close. I think Duretti's better, though. I'm going to get in with my squad. Conquer makes my spells cost more next turn. I'm going to try to get some looting in while the getting's good. Discard up to 2 cards. Just 1, please. The rest of my cards are good. Triplicate Titan is also a self-contained, completely Insano engine with a Recurring Nightmare. You can sack the Titan for anything, get your 3 things, sack one of the tokens, get your Titan back. Every 3 mana is another 3 guys, or the Triplicate Titan. Oh, the perfect land. Okay, I'm gonna plus Duretti first. I don't actually want this Dark Depths. And if I discard Dark Depths, then Goliscus works too. If I find a land, or yeah, Elspeth is actually messing me up here a lot. My things cost 2 more. Like I can duress them here, or I can just fire off an Exhume, see if duress works next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to cast Exhume because I can duress plus Nightmare next turn. And if I have Triplicate Titan around, we're good to go. Okay, that resolved. Now I have an interesting choice. I could get Golos, who can sack into Triplicate Titan next turn. Yeah, I think I'm going to play it a little safe here. Just Swords to Plowshares being such a relevant thing that I can also play around next turn. Do I have any way to get this Dark Depths back from the graveyard now that I've just discarded it this turn to make this turn possible? That is something my deck does not do. I guess I'll just get the Graven Cairns and then attack with my creatures that can attack. Pestermite. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, they untapped their own land rather than tapping mine. Okay, good. Oh, well, Elspeth will return that to play, so if they have Splinter Twin, I lose here. Digging for it. Okay, suddenly concerned for my safety. In Elspeth Conquers Death, Chapter 3 was about to whiff, so like playing that Pestermite was free, maybe even good. Getting an extra blue. Council's Judgment, disappointing. And I have multiple exciting permanents in play, though. Alright, they're voting for Duretti. Good call. That is on board reanimating the Triplicate Titan. If I draw a land, I have enough to duress them and then Nightmare twice. Okay, this is not a Splinter Twin situation. If I don't draw a land, I can duress them and Nightmare once, or I can Nightmare twice. It's a Fairy Time Reveler. That's powerful. Bouncing my snake. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to duress you now. Unless I draw the land. Demonic Tutor. Card's good. What does it do here? Can get Archon for the future. Childred. I can get Archon next turn. Yeah, I think I just want to Recurring Nightmare twice here. The duress is so tempting, though. Am I a coward? No, Triplicate Titan is fine on its own. I can duress them, and then... Oh, geez, Phyrexian Metamorph is what you have. Oh. Now it's less good. Oh, I can Demonic Tutor for him to Turok? Maybe I should have started with that. Okay, sucks that duress missed, but I am taking my time to try to out-control this deck that was about to clown me. I have to take a hit from Murktide and Pestermite here. They are drawing wild. They have Fiery Islet that can rebuy. Have to assume Splinter Twin's in the deck somewhere. But please don't draw it. Pentad Prism. Okay, one card left. Big beats. Savai Triome. I'm going to attack their life points directly. Teferi doesn't matter now. I'm not casting any instants. Recurring Nightmare. Get back. So I can end up with Triplicate in play, or I can end up with Golos in play, and... Oh, I can get back Una's Prowler too. And I do have a flying token. Yeah, if this engine works, I'm just going to win with it, so I'll go for it. Right, there's the Titan. Nightmare, Refire. Una's Prowler can chump or trade versus Golos finding a land. I don't need another land here. I'm going to get Prowler. Just putting something between my life total and this 8/8 is what I want to do. Currently have 2 blockers, and might as well play Savai Triome. Playing the Triome enables Blitz plus sack that to Recurring Nightmare. Just surprise bonus creature. No! Just got control of this situation. Yuck. Okay, fine. Okay, out comboed. And Shallow Grave can let me go faster, I guess. And the discard's really good. Still think I like what's going on here. I think I messed up my sequencing on turn 2. If Tenacious Underdog was my first play instead of Una's Prowler, then I could have just done all my reanimation a million turns earlier. Soul Transfer can get rid of a nasty little Pestermite that's hanging out. No, I think on the play especially, I'm just going to trust the deck that I built the first time. Oof, no mana sources. Beautiful hand. Mulligan. Okay. I'm going to keep this and bottom Dark Depths. Okay, Underdog. We're going to try to black aggro this deck until we pivot. You know, they have Daze in there somewhere. I'd love a discard spell before they get fully set up over there. This is enough Swamps deck for real. I can invest Recurring Nightmare now. We've seen Daze, we've seen Council's Judgment. I'm not going to do that. Talisman of Hierarchy. A spell at some point would be great, but let's just keep attacking for now. Wonder if I'm just dead right now. They didn't Pestermite in the end step. That's good news. Come on, deck. Mind Twist. Hymn to Tarak. I'll take that one. Graven Cairns, Himu. Reprieve won't stop this. Daze won't stop this. Get a real hit here. Murktide Regent Ottawara in the bin. Unfortunately, Death is your graveyard. It both costs one more and can't get both graveyards, so it's 2 times worse than Reanimate. I think I am going to invest in the Nightmare. Just sit it and play. They spend a removal spell on it. It's a removal spell they don't have, and I'm already holding another Reanimate spell. A Remand, sure. They found a way to use that. Tenacious D's been good for 9 already, though. Preordain. Pented Prism. Triplicate Titan. Look at me counting my lands like it's even possible. Attack with the dog. Run Nightmare back out. I'm going to leave up my red and my white, just make them think about stuff. Council's Judgment. Okay, what are we voting for? I hope they're scared of the Nightmare. Nope, they chose the dog. That was smart, and I'm mad. You know, miserably, Life, the green make your lands 1/1s, is almost good here. And my deck actually cannot cast it. Sneak Attack's good here. Sneak Attack actually is GG here. Sneak Attack. Oh, and me deck. Yeah, the Flood is real. Opponent's down to 1 card, too. Una's Prowler puts Titan into play. Teferi. This can bounce Nightmare. At least draws them a card. Cost me 3 mana. Ready. Okay, I like this one. I liked it better before they stole my Triplicate Titan and drew 3 cards. Ugh. Okay. Well, that's back in my hand for now. But we have a real game plan moving forward. If we're not dead before that happens. Dig through time. That's bad for me. Remember like 1 second ago when I was like, they only have 1 card in their hand. And now they have 4 and I'm dead? Femi, my dude. I'm trying to get your trophy. This deck feels so good. That was so many lands. On to the next one. Let's at least try to 2-1 with this thing.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
On the draw in round 2, I have Inquisition and make my way up to Mind Twist. My hand is kind of heavy on the mana, but I like what it's doing. Basically have 3/4 of my top end in my opening hand, but I also have Mind Twist and Inquisition. A Mox Pearl for my opponent. That's a good card. Oh, and a Mox Jet. Great. How are we dead? Turn 1 Adeline. A Preordain. Okay. That's kind of good news. I was just really worried about this Inquisition either being ineffective or missing outright. Because they could play 3s. Alright, well. They have dug pretty deep into their deck, and Inquisition is live. Mox Jet, okay. I could Mind Twist them instead of Inquisition them here. Because they can cast 4s next turn. Oh, Mind Twist sucks. Gets the same number of cards. I was thinking of Mind Twist next turn for 2, which I gotta get through this turn before that's a thing. Spell Pierce, Fairy Mastermind. Spell Pierce is a dig. I gotta get this Teferi out of their hand because I can never beat it. I'm gonna take Spell Pierce, and then I'll twist the Teferi out next turn. I don't think I'm gonna play the Mox Jet. I'll hide that. But the Jet does make me 1 mana source away from Sheoldred, who is probably pretty good for this matchup. A Swamp. Sheoldred is online for next turn. And let's try to clip that to Fairy while the getting's good. Because they didn't play Mastermind, they actually have the option of leaving it in hand for Mind Twist to pad the Teferi action. Okay, there's that. They've decided Fairy Mastermind. better than Cryptic Command and Teferi. Cool. That was a high value Mind Twist, setting up a Shouldred against a Hellbent opponent with a draw engine, a pseudo draw engine in play. Okay, don't draw a good answer to Shouldred this turn, and we'll get along fine. Cool. Tapped land. They can activate Fairy, and if they do that, they're going to have to do it in response. Oh, I could Dark Ritual Golos now and put Dark Depths into play. I think I'd rather get Shouldred down, start squeezing them, and then we'll figure out the rest later. If they're going to activate Fairy, they should do it now. I hope they forget. Nope, didn't forget. They're like an elephant with that big old brain. Well, I do have Shouldred in play on turn 3 against a recently Hellbent blue-white control opponent. I hope that's good. Good for at least 2 life. Swamp. 2 mystery cards left. Oh no, this is Council's Judgment mana. Skyclave Apparition. That's also annoying. Not as bad as the other one, though. Okay. I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana here with Dark Ritual. I can Dark Ritual out Gearhulk and just kill Fairy Mastermind and have a big menace creature. If I cast Talisman of Indulgence, then I can Dark Ritual Golos, and I can double spell this turn and present the Dark Depths, but then they still have their draw engine online. I think I want to Gearhulk and just take off their engine. And if their 1 card in hand is randomly counterspell, I do have a bunch of Reanimates that can play with this thing. Take out the Fairy. If I draw the land, I can Golos next turn. If I don't draw the land, I can double spell Talisman under D. Fiery Islet from the opponent. Immediately drew a card. Kind of drew a land. Not in a helpful way. Gearhulk, get in. 5/4 menace. Okay, that's gone. I'm going to play Talisman first. That lets me play around Daze with my double spell. Drop the dog. And I am going to play Triome. Now, with Triome in play, if I draw an untapped land, I can tutor and make Dark Depths. Tutor the Depths and make Merit Lage. They got a spell. This is not Fractured Identity mana. It's more. Elspeth Sun Champion. Okay, that can kill Homie, or just like put a bunch of 1/1s between its life total and it. Alright, destroyed the Gearhulk. Sure. That is the safe, cowardly play. Tap land. Bummer. Alright, well, at least it's a thing I can do. Hierarchy, Golos, get Dark Depths. Bang. Combo assembled. Elspeth does not stop the 2020. You're gonna have 3 cards with which to do that, and I have a bunch of discard I could draw in the interim. That would be the best case scenario. Counterspells don't stop this, sorceries don't stop this. 3 1/1s don't stop this. Alright, come on, Hymn to Trock. Swamp, boring. Alright. I'll hold that in my hand and just hope they have nothing for this turn cycle, because I'm going to have a hard time coming back from behind this Elspeth if they do have anything. Guess I could have attacked Elspeth with Golos and Underdog. Yeah, they don't have good blocks for both of them. They'd have to lose something. And if Tenacious D ends up in the graveyard, I can start blitzing it and drawing cards. Okay, they just scooped to the Dark Depths combo. Glad I drafted that. He came up at least once. Kind of feeling like Gix should actually be in the deck. Soul Transfer exiling a Planeswalker. We saw Elspeth and Teferi. That's scary. Maybe I cut Talisman for Soul Transfer. I think I might have slightly too many mana sources. And that is 1 fewer artifact to set up a Duretti with. I'm going to go for it like this. Sweet. Love this hand. Hexmage also kills Planeswalkers. Remove all counters from target permanent. That includes loyalty counters. Opponent's on 6. I love when opponents mulligan versus my discard deck. We have seen Spell Pierce in their deck. They could pierce this Inquisition, but last game my Inquisition Spell Pierce, so we'd be even on that. They do have it. Imperial Seal, do I care? Probably less than I care about Spell Pierce. Yeah. I feel like letting that resolve was a mistake. Now I have all this information and the exchange was the same. And the only reason I would leave you with Spell Pierce is if I'm going to curve out with creatures, and I know I have that information and you don't. Weird choice. Talisman sets up Duretti faster. I'm going for it. I was just going to shove Hexmage here, but now the options have improved. The Imperial Seal is still in their hand. I clicked out of it last turn, thinking they would be casting it, but then they didn't. Yeah, Duretti goes up to 5. You'd have to cast a lot of spells to kill that. Discard up to 2 cards. Definitely just both swamps are going. Heyo. If Duretti even survives the turn, if my opponent can't put 5 on it. We know they have Imperial Seal. That's at least 3. They need 2 additional spells on top of that. Ooh, they could seal and draw the card right away. If there's some 1 mana card that helps here. A Pithing Needle or whatever. I could have last turn just killed the Mentor and made this game super slow. Shoving the Duretti felt right though. Mentor's taking its chunk out of Duretti, as you'd expect. Bones! Well, that's fun. I could... No, killing Mentor doesn't help here. Bones are good though. Yeah, killing Mentor and then exhuming it back is nothing. I'm gonna plus Duretti and just discard Triplicate Titan, I think. Yeah. Ophiomancer. How do we feel about Exhume? Cool. And then I also get a Hexmage here. And they just tutored for whatever their best card is. We've seen at least one Planeswalker that answers Triplicate Titan into Fairy if they also have the land in hand. If their deck contains Time Walk, that's not going to punch through unless it's backed by something else. Time Walk's usually good with Mentor, though. They have a 9/9 and a 2/1 first strike in play, and we're just nothing go. Was the turn cycle? That's weird. That's so suspicious. Honestly, kind of worried about it. Yeah, I'm going to attack with my Triplicate Titan and see what happens. And then I'm going to Bone Shards with sack a creature, killing the Monastery Mentor. Sacking the Triplicate Titan, who I can get back immediately with Duretti. Sacking one of the tokens it made. Cool. I think Trample's probably the worst one. No, Vigilance is worse than Trample. Yeah, I think that's true. And then I also get Ophiomancer for my trouble. Okay. Titan time. Opponent said, congrats on your videos. I like your channel a lot. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Triplicate Titan did its thing with the ready. Cool. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play with a properly vintage cube hand. I'm going to pass the turn with 3 mana. And I'm a red short of sneaking on turn 3. I mean, I have ETB tapped red as my only red, but I'm definitely keeping this. We're doing vintage stuff. Untap red source is the nuts. If I can get turn 2 sneak attack, turn 3 Archon Blast. It's not GG, but it is a ton of value. Swamp, Jet, Talisman, let it rip. What's the follow-up? What do you got? A mountain. Okay. Ooh, my shield got broken. That's weirdly okay, because I had to take this turn off anyway. That's actually really funny. Oh, that was really good interaction for turn 1, and also it doesn't matter. I even drew a spell I could cast. That also happens to brick most haste creatures. Shield Breaker, 2/1 regular strike, does not defeat my 2/1 first strike. Dark Ritual doesn't help here because I only have 1 red still. Gonna commit the sneak and hope you don't have enchantment removal. And I'm gonna leave back Vampire Hexmage. If this is a Boros aggro deck, I'd rather just not. Mountain, Swift Spear, okay. Mana Crypt, uh-oh. We got a vintage gamer. I thought we were just going to run away with this one for a second. Crystalline Giant. All right. Mostly don't care about that. Lifelink would be a relevant word. Vigilance, I don't care about. Swift Spear does get to poke. Okay, big Archon energy. I get to 12 you, draw 2 cards, you discard 2 cards, and kill your stuff, and then pick it. I drew the death, so I can get it back next turn. Cool. Let's rip. Archon, Plow. Plow was a sound effect, not a word. by the way. I don't know why I said plow and not pow, or any of the other words I could say. Badlands. Oh, that's so close to being something that's actually helpful. Archon will eat the shield breaker here, draw me another card, get another one out of yours. Oh wow, I can Bone Shards Death right now and just finish it all off. That makes them hellbent. I think it's actually better to not do that though. Just deathing this thing next turn. No, I'm in. Let's just kill this thing. Sack the Archon, and then also death right now. Hellbent, and I get to draw another card here. Vintage Cube. Heck yeah, that was the most Vintage Cube game I've played in 4 drafts. Nice. Okay, looks like some Boros aggro is what we're up against. Ix is a 3/3 body that I can lower my curve with if I'm so inclined. Once again, the soul transfers here. Braids is also a 3/3 body, but I don't know if I'm going that deep. Going over the top of them is probably better than trying to meet them where their deck is built to play and mine isn't. Cuts I could make in this matchup are like Duress, if I think they're a mostly creature-based aggro deck. All my other discard spells are still good. That gets me Soul Transfer. I don't think I want to cut Talisman. I saw main deck Artifact Hate, but I don't think that's a reason to reduce the power level of your deck, and I still have Duretti. Yeah, I think soft discard spell into hard removal spell is fine against the Boros aggro deck. Let's try it. Nice. I'm going to keep this hand. I have Inquisition on 1. And then I have options of, if I draw a land in one of my first 2 draw steps, turn 2 Sheoldred. Kumano faces Kazan. That deals 1 to me. When you cast your next creature spell this turn, enters with a +1 counter, and then the flip side is a 2/2 haste. Alright. If I can take them off a creature, that's actually insane. Okay, cool. This is turn 2 Sheoldred, so I'm just going to go with that. Inquisition you. Toilet Warrior versus Thalia. I'm way more worried about Thalia, because that stops everything I'm trying to do here. The Toilet Warrior will be a 4/2 first strike, and I'll just put Sheoldred in front of that. Also costs you 3 life to cast this thing. Cool. Mind Twist. Sheoldred's still better. Dark Ritual, Sheoldred. Boom. There she is. You're losing life, I'm gaining life. I can Bone Shards, discarding Dark Depths next turn, kill your best creature. I'm not going to make a block that turns on Chain Lightning. Just take my 6 here. Lane's Chain Lightning mystery card in the hand. Drawing a card, losing 2 life. Emergency meeting. Can we ever beat Sheoldred? Chain Lightning to the dome. Okay. Sure, that's gone. And I gain 2 life. I think I'd rather him to Turok them than even cast the Bone Shards here. Who cares? If you don't have cards, you're not beating Sheoldred. Hellrider and Containment Priest gone. Yeah, I'm gonna commit to the race. I have the Bone Shards to kill a creature. I'm gaining life here. They're losing life. I'm not gonna leave back a blocker like a chump. I go to 6, then I go to 8 on my draw step. Then I kill your creature. Bone Shards. Discard a card. Kill Toilet Warrior. I'm gonna discard Talisman, actually. Dark Depths could still have text in this game, but I'm pretty set on mana, especially with this Mox Jet. Okay, you're at 1. We did it! Okay, another 2-1 record. This deck felt like the best deck that I've drafted so far, at least the most powerful, most Vintage Cube style deck. Can't quite get it all on the screen. It doesn't let you repile once the league is over. Sorry. But you can see my lands over there, kind of. Still not sure if it was built quite perfectly. Like, maybe Soul Transfer should just be in the main. Gix really feeds my creature plan, and I did have multiple games where Tenacious Underdog was the best thing I had going on, but I think this is built pretty well for what we got. The light splash for Duretti and Sneak Attack worked out perfectly. I just had 4 or 5 red sources before I saw either of those cards, just by planning ahead. Having Bazaar, Baghdad, and Library of Alexandria in my sideboard feel like something went wrong there. Maybe Bazaar should be in the deck. If I didn't have Dark Depths, I would play Bazaar. I think that's true. I just didn't have room for another land that doesn't tap for mana. That round 1 deck, we definitely had the control half of their deck beat, but they had the Splinter Twin gear. They won both games when they were behind on board by assembling their combo, which is how combo decks work. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining what happened in the game. And they had blue interaction to back up their combo, where I had black discard to back up mine, and they had their interaction in the 2 games where I didn't. Like, I didn't find a good spot to punch a hole. Kind of flooded out real bad in game 2. But then we won the other ones. Another 2-1. The series so far, 1-2, 1-2, 2-1, 2-1. We're getting close to that trophy, knocking at the door. This deck felt the best that I've had so far, and got a positive record out of it, so we are moving in the right direction. But there will be an episode 5 to this series. Femi, these drafts are going to keep coming. I'm going to get that trophy. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.